10 times Zion Williamson used his 1000 IQ. Zion Williamson has been one of the most hyped up players in NBA history since he entered the league. His combination of strength, quickness, and athleticism is completely unmatched nowadays. Although, not even people talk about his basketball intelligence. In today's video, we have gathered 10 plays where Zion used his 1000 IQ in order to get 2 easy points or a flashy defensive stop. The first play completely shook the defender. Zion called for the ball outside the 3-point line and began to back down his defender for a little bit. He took a few dribbles inwards before realizing that his defender was about to try and cut him off. Zion knew that nobody was able to hold him, so he took advantage of his defender's aggressiveness on this specific play. He hit his defender with a beautiful spin move to create a ton of separation before rising up and dunking it all over him. This next play was absolutely ridiculous. Zion was sitting in the corner trying to defend his man when he realized that Victor Oladipo was about to break past his teammate and attempt a massive dunk. Zion didn't want to let that happen, so he quickly ran over to the paint and swatted the ball right into the ground. When the ball bounced back up, another opponent ran up to him to try and regain possession for his team, except Zion knew that he was coming, so he tapped the ball straight up into the air, right over the head of the defender and back into his own hands. Williamson then passed it over to his teammate, who then ran the length of the court. Right when he got inside the 3-point line, he realized that Zion was sprinting right alongside him and lobbed it up. As always, the big man threw it down on a couple of defenders and capped off a beautiful highlight play. Obviously, Zion is so strong and tough when he turns around to back down his opponents that teams can't do anything else but throw an extra couple of defenders his way in the hopes to slow him down. He seems to have figured that one out over the last couple of years and put that knowledge to good use here against the Chicago Bulls. He started to back down his opponent before hitting a spin move. The spin got him right outside the paint, but he saw out of the corner of his eye that another defender was coming to close off the baseline for him. He quickly reverted directions and spun again. The help defender just watched as the primary defender tried to follow him and jump up to block the shot. Only it was no use. Zion's massive brain got him so wide open off the double team that he capped the move off with a beautiful layup. Speaking of opponents double teaming Zion Williamson, that is exactly what happened in this next high IQ play by him. He caught a pass on the outside before driving past his defender into the paint. The only problem was that he landed right in the middle, too far away for a layup and too close to make a random jump shot. He stopped, spun around, and worked his way through 3 Milwaukee Bucks defenders in order to get himself some type of separation. When he was able to do that, he knew that his teammate, Steven Adams, was waiting for him right under the basket with open arms. Zion flung the ball right past those defenders and right into the hands of Adams, who rose up and got the easiest 2 points of the season. This next play, we have Zion thinking at the speed of sound. He had received an inbound pass on his own end of the court, just 7 seconds remaining in the third quarter of the New Orleans Pelicans game against the Boston Celtics. Zion was sprinting down the court before realizing that Tristan Thompson was the man out in front of him defending. Williamson quickly changed towards him before Euro-stepping around him and finishing the layup by going up and down in the air for 2 points. All the while, he had completed that in just 5 seconds. He knew exactly how much time he needed in order to score for his team, and that he couldn't afford to let the defense get set before he charged down there. I think Boston will think twice about placing Thompson on an athletic player like Zion ever again. If there is one thing that we have established here outside of Zion's incredible high basketball IQ, it is that he is a phenomenal help defender in most situations. Here, Williamson foresaw a putback dunk coming, so he stepped in and stopped it from happening. The Minnesota Timberwolves missed an easy layup, and another teammate flew in to attempt a putback dunk that looked wildly uncontested. However, Zion started following him when he saw him move towards the basket and swatted it out of his hands the second he caught the rebound. Then, before the ball even went out of bounds, he recovered and flipped the basketball back right into the hands of another teammate waiting for it. It was all around a beautiful play by the young fella. Here we have Zion Williamson perfectly reading the eyes of the veteran's big man, Robin Lopez. Lopez went to hand the ball off to his teammate right behind the three-point line, but he was so heavily contested that he had to raise the ball up and wait for someone else to come and get it. As he stood there, he caught another teammate coming around and quickly went to pass it towards him. The problem for Lopez was that he didn't look to see where his defender was. Zion flew right in front of the pass without hesitation and was able to obtain possession right around his defender and pick up an easy dunk on the other end. Had Zion not had such a huge brain, he may not have even saw that first pass coming and couldn't have deflected it. Thankfully, he does. This next play is a perfect combination of athleticism, concentration, and intelligence. Zion was running into the paint alongside his teammate, who had possession of the basketball, and he knew that a lob was coming his way. He jumped up to catch it, but the pass wasn't great, admittedly, although Zion was able to corral the ball with one hand, which, by the way, was behind the backboard, and then moved it to his other hand midair before slamming it down. Not only did he concentrate enough to pull something like that off, but he was able to think of moving it back in front of the backboard on the fly. Most players would just let it go out of the bounds, or cut their losses and just land with possession. But not Zion, he is a step above the rest. Then we move on to another play, this one against Russell Westbrook and the Houston Rockets. Zion was the off-ball defender on this possession when a teammate deflected a pass loose. The ball bounced right in front of Zion with an angry Westbrook chasing right behind it. Zion knew that he would get stripped, so he simply tapped the ball back the other direction to his teammate, who caught it and passed it forward to Lonzo Ball. Ball then ran down the court with Zion and threw a perfect lob right up to him for 2 flashy points. Finally, we have the best play for the last regarding Zion's IQ. It was the infamous play against poor Kevin Knox. During the Summer League, Zion came around to grab an offensive rebound, but was boxed out by a couple of players. Knox was eventually the guy that came down with possession of the basketball, and he was holding it with 2 hands so that he doesn't get it stripped. However, Zion didn't care about that and flew in from behind Knox to grab the ball with both hands, wrestling it away from him and knocking him onto the floor before taking a step and dunking it to get the entire crowd up on their feet. Zion knew that he was clearly the stronger player and used his IQ to figure out a way to steal the ball right when he wasn't looking, then get a highlight play right alongside his 2-point bucket. Those are just a few of the 1,000 IQ plays that Zion has already made throughout his career. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content just like this. Also, remember to smash that bell icon so that you never miss out on another video.